Hello and welcome to 20 Lore Pro. I'm your announcer, SirAshtown, here today at Clockwork Games in College Station with their Lorcana 1K. We want to welcome everyone from Twitch to the top 8. We're going to be watching Lorcana NightOwl versus Kristopher Baxter. We got to watch NightOwl earlier today playing against a Amethyst Steel. That was his qualification match to get into top 8. So we're excited to see NightOwl here again in the top 8 this time. We want to thank Clockwork Games here in College Station, Texas for hosting this Lorcana 1K, and for these two players for competing in today's tournament and allowing us to feature them in our feature match. Here we go as we start the top 8. NightOwl here with a Rafiki to Kristopher's Maleficent. Kristopher opting to Quest. I was talking to these two competitors before the match. This is an open deck list for top 8, so players did get to look at their opponent's decks before playing, and we all had a good laugh. Kristopher's list is playing this card. Let me find it here on this list. Go the Distance. And we were laughing because Kristopher was saying that he didn't know what that card did. He thought that all it did was it rated your character and let you draw a card. Did not realize that it was for damaged characters. And so he is playing 3 of these Go the Distance cards and was still able to qualify with his deck for the top 8. Goes to show that even when you're not quite sure what's in your list, if you have the player skill, sometimes you can just eke out wins. Thankfully, he said it was an inkable card, and so it has been used a lot of times for ink. So we are here in game 1 of the top 8. NightOwl versus Kristopher. Went ahead and got that fixed for you all over there on the screen. Both of these players piloting a version of Amethyst Ruby. We know that NightOwl's list is playing Teeth and Ambition. We saw him use it against his earlier opponent. Whereas we saw with Baxter that his list, I'm sorry, not Baxter, Kristopher, his list is not playing Teeth and Ambition while NightOwl's is. So a couple of key differences between the two. NightOwl's list is playing 1 spell book while Kristopher's is playing 2. We'll see how these two competitors compete against one another as they are facing the mirror match here in top 8. Already this Pascal having evasive. Great quester here early on. Kristopher here being at 5. NightOwl having his Metamim Snake banished by Kristopher's Fox. Kristopher decides to play a Goat, going up to 6. Questing with the evasive Pascal to 7. We'll see who can have the better bounce package as well as the late game removal and board state. NightOwl here able to take out Kristopher's board using that Pinocchio to tap down Kristopher's goat. Hardcasting Friends on their side as a follow-up. This Pinocchio, seeing a lot of play today, has really helped out, especially NightOwl in this circumstance, as it's able to tap down an opposing character. Kristopher playing his Pinocchio, however, it is the Quester for 3. This Pinocchio, a lot more of an aggro list from Kristopher's side of the board. Gets removed due to Madame Medusa. NightOwl at 2, Kristopher at 9, trying to use these Pascals to kind of get in there with the evasive before it's too late. Trying to gain as much lore as he can. We're already at 7 lore on NightOwl's side of the board. Hard to tell how many Kristopher has, but it only looks like 4 ink in his inkwell. NightOwl now at 8, able to play all of his cards. Has 1 card left in hand, plays a Minnie Mouse Surfer along with another Olaf. We saw these Minnie Mouse Surfers really help NightOwl earlier in his previous round, just as it's able to have evasive to challenge that Pascal or gain NightOwl 2 lore. We'll see what Kristopher can do, facing quite a bit of a big board stay here from NightOwl. Kristopher having more of this aggro bouncy list with Arthur. Arthur here, just whenever Iquest is able to return another card to your hand to gain you an additional 2 lore. Able to hopefully bring back a Maleficent to allow you to draw again would be kind of nice. We see NightOwl questing here. Going up to 8. We'll see what Kristopher decides to do here, as he's looking to quest most likely with everything. Goes up to 11. 13 here with the Arthur. Bouncing, 12. Up to 14. Plays a LeFou. Able to re-ready Arthur, protecting it from that really strong Maui on NightOwl's side of the board. LeFou, when it ETB, is able to ready a chosen character. Proving here that it really saves out against strong cards like Maui. Looks like Kristopher here has the new Simba from Into the Inklands. Another character that's able to lore for 3. Hard to find. I'm going to see if I can't pop it up for us on the screen. Looking at the board state and all of the lore ability that Kristopher has, as well as Lorcana Knight, they opt to go to the next game. I believe Kristopher at 14 took that game. This Amethyst Ruby aggro version really doing a lot of work here. NightOwl not able to come back and really take out all of those threats that have the high lore count. Like Simba right here on the screen, able to quest for 3. Really showing the power of some of these low drop, 3 drop characters, or 3 quest characters like Simba and Pinocchio. I know when the match first started and NightOwl and Kristopher were talking about the differences between their lists, Kristopher was kind of worried looking across the playmat, seeing NightOwl having Teeth and Ambition in his list. That card's able to really take out cards early on before they're able to quest for lore. But it seems like, at least for that game, being on the play, Kristopher really didn't see a whole lot of disadvantage from the Teeth and Ambition coming up. Kristopher himself wasn't able to get out enough to be able to take out those questers before they got Kristopher the game. Congratulations to Kristopher on winning game 1 of the top 8 here against NightOwl. We want to thank everyone coming today to Clockwork Games for their Lorcana 1K and competing in today's tournament. And we want to thank you, the viewers at home, for watching today's tournament. If you missed any of the previous rounds, you can head on over to 20lore.pro/YouTube later on this week and watch any of the rounds that you missed. If you like the content that you're watching today, feel free to follow us here on Twitch or subscribe to get the latest news on when we go live next for whichever Lorcana 1K we travel to. If you'd like to support the 20 Lore Pro team as we travel across Texas to show you the best in competitive Lorcana at all the different stores across Texas at their 1Ks, feel free to head on over to our 20lore.pro/Patreon, where you can subscribe and get the latest behind-the-scenes updates as to what the 20 Lore team is doing on a weekly basis, as well as the latest news. We want to thank the Hunter Burn Memorial Foundation for allowing 20 Lore Pro to come alongside them and to host and stream the Hunter Burn Memorial Lorcana Championship that took place last week. It was a great event and we had a wonderful time. And if you want to watch any of those rounds, you can go to 20lore.pro/YouTube to watch those videos tomorrow. We want to thank everyone again for coming out today, and here we are in the top 8, game 2, Kristopher versus Lorcana NightOwl, playing a Amethyst Ruby mirror match. One is playing the more Ruby bounce control version, versus Kristopher piloting the more aggro bounce Arthur version. Here's Kristopher playing a early drop Maleficent, facing down a Challenger Rafiki. I'm sure a card that Lorcana NightOwl was really happy to see. Uses it to quest, prepares that Olaf 1/3, able to be a great target for Teeth and Ambition, or a challenger for these 1/1 characters. Kristopher's side of the board. NightOwl at 1, trying to get in there as NightOwl can. Watching Kristopher lore for 2. Using this LeFou to save this Maleficent from being challenged by that pesky Rafiki. LeFou seems to be a great card and a good strategy for Kristopher's deck, especially if he's able to rebounce the LeFou and play it again. I'm looking at Kristopher's list right now. I'm going to see how many LeFous he plays. It looks like he plays a full playset of 4. I do see here that Kristopher is playing a full playset of Foxes and a full playset of Snakes. So he does have the ability to bounce these cards if needed. And there it is. There's the Madam Fox that we just talked about. It's able to bounce and save that Maleficent to be used for the future, taking out that Olaf. The snake and the fox really being a big help here, but glad to see LeFou come down and help save the Maleficent for a later turn. Kristopher already at 5, looking at Night Owl's 2. Night Owl using that evasive Minnie Mouse Surfer to sing Friends on the Other Side. That evasive Minnie, really a great quester in and of herself, able to gain 2 lore every turn, while also not easily being challenged by Kristopher. And there's Kristopher's board with a Madam Fox being taken out. Looks like a Queen's Castle is about to get inked. And we see another LeFou in Kristopher's hand. And he double plays Pinocchio. This Pinocchio, really strong quester for 3. Night Owl playing the Queen's Castle, able to move his Madam Fox over so that way he can draw an extra card as upkeep. These Pinocchios about to gain Kristopher 6 lore during his next turn. We'll see what Night Owl can do to try to get out of here. It seems like Teeth and Ambition, really a great option, attacking into whichever one LeFou doesn't ready next turn. Kristopher does go up to 11 and does play the LeFou. We'll see if he has a follow-up play. I'm sure he does. Double Maleficent. This is an aggro Amethyst Ruby playbook play if I ever saw one. Night Owl only having, it appears, 5 ink in the inkwell, now 6, not quite in Be Prepared range. Kristopher trying to present game. We'll see what they do. As a Merlin Rabbit, you can certainly attack into the Pinocchio. Now Kristopher presenting 8 on the board. Next turn, Night Owl will have 7 ink in his inkwell. Kristopher just having to go for it. Going up to 9. We see a Maleficent in hand and a Madam Fox. Not a bad opportunity for Kristopher to bounce something back or to keep it to wait for after maybe a Be Prepared. If Night Owl has it, that is. We have seen him draw off of the Queen's Castle and the Merlin. The odds of him having one are high. There's the fishhook. And a quest indicating a Be Prepared, and there it is. Be Prepared while Kristopher is at 19. Kristopher now just has to deal with the onesies or twosies that may come up from Kristopher's side of the board. I'm going to check real quick to see if Night Owl is playing any Lady Tremaines. He is. He's playing 3 Lady Tremaines and 3 Madame Medusas. Maleficent here, being lonely like this, a really great target for Lady Tremaine. Opts to bounce the Maleficent back to hand, passes the turn, leaving a lonely Madame Snake to get Lady Tremaine. We'll see if Kristopher can't make maybe a double play. Draws an additional card off of the Maleficent. Has a Simba. Does have 2 cards in play. We'll see if Night Owl can deal with both of these. Let's see what Night Owl has. Maybe another Be Prepared or a Teeth and Ambition. Really, Kristopher just needing one more. Is Kristopher playing Goats? He is. He's playing 4 Goats. Pinocchio coming into play, followed up by another Lady Tremaine, tapping down Kristopher's Simba, allowing that Lady Tremaine to get in and damage Simba, allowing the other Lady Tremaine to banish Maleficent. Passes it back. Night Owl now up to 11. The tides are starting to turn here in game 2. Can Kristopher draw into a goat or maybe get one more lore? Decides to draw a card off of that Go the Distance into another Go the Distance. If nothing else, this card is at least drawing him more cards off the top. Can Kristopher go the distance this game and get one more lore? We'll see if he can't get into one of his 4 goats to win him the match and get him into top 4. Night Owl now at 18. Draws with the rabbit twice. Didn't get a goat himself. It was not a goat. They are going to go into game 3 of the top 8. Night Owl cheering they didn't find a goat off the top. Man, what a close game by these 2 competitors here in the top 8. Great to see Kristopher really get up that high so quickly. Just needed one more lore and could not manage to find a way to get to it. Night Owl, however, keeping his cool, even though he saw his opponent getting that much lore that quickly, made an opportunity to where the Lady Tremaines really got him the game. Well, congratulations to Lorcana NightOwl for winning game 2 here in the top 8. We're going to go into game 3. We want to wish both of these competitors luck and thank them for joining us here today at Clockwork Games in College Station. We want to thank them for competing and for allowing us to feature them in our feature match for today's stream and for your viewing pleasure. Thank y'all for joining us on Twitch. If you've enjoyed our content and want to see more of our coverage, feel free to follow or subscribe here on Twitch, or head on over to 20lore.pro/YouTube, where we have all of the previous rounds from any tournament that you may have missed in our YouTube. We want to thank our sponsors for today's tournament, Clockwork Games, for hosting today's Lorcana 1K. If you're ever in College Station or in the Bryan, Texas area, visiting A&M or around this area, head on over to Clockwork Games for any Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Lorcana needs. They also have table space for tabletop games such as Warhammer. We want to thank Clockwork Games again for hosting today's Lorcana tournament. We want to thank 20Lore Pro, our community, and our team for all the support that y'all give us on our YouTube, our Patreon, and our Twitch. Every little bit helps as we travel across Texas to bring you the latest in competitive Lorcana. We want to thank Nexus in Waco for helping produce today's content. If you're ever in the Waco area, head on over to Nexus. They have a esports lounge along with a TCG player play area and a dining hall for you to eat. We're excited to be here with Nexus, who has helped produce many of our different tournament videos and content. We want to thank GFQ Underground for making our playmats for the Hunter Burton Memorial Lorcana Championship. If you need a custom playmat, go no further than looking for GFQ Underground. They do custom art prints, and they have a artist that works alongside them to make custom playmat art. So here we are in game 3 of the top 8, Kristopher versus Lorcana NightOwl. Kristopher here having a strong start with a Maleficent, being able to ready it again with LeFou, but now seeing it be challenged by Pinocchio. LeFou really helping out Kristopher, but not able to due to NightOwl having his own Pinocchios to answer LeFou. From Kristopher, we see his first Minnie Mouse Surfer. We haven't seen this Minnie Mouse Surfer from Kristopher yet, but it does represent a strong quester on Kristopher's side of the board that really requires an answer of the same or similar, which NightOwl responds in kind with his own Minnie Mouse Surfer. Lorcana NightOwl could use a bump, maybe from a Maui's Fishhook or a Merlin Crab. We see that NightOwl is playing 2 Merlin Crabs. And he's playing 2 Maui Fishhooks, giving him 4 targets to be able to help boost this Minnie Mouse's challenging ability. Kristopher inking a Queen's Castle. Decides to quest for 3, going up to 5. We see that Meta Mim Snake in hand. Maybe to bounce the LeFou? That would still give him the ability to play that Maleficent Sorcerer. Instead, opts to play a Goat, going up to 6. The card he needed during the last game to go all the way up to 20. NightOwl using that Minnie Mouse Surfer on his side of the board to sing friends on the other side. Plays his own Goat. It wouldn't be a mirror match if players didn't have similar characters on each other's side of the board. We see 101 Minnie, 101 Goat. Kristopher now at 6. Questing with everything. Going up to 10. We know he's got a Maleficent hand and a Metamin box. And an Arthur. This could make for some interesting play lines, as he does decide to double play the Arthur and Maleficent Sorcerer. This Arthur, really a great target for not only, I was going to say LeFou, but for the Goat. NightOwl, seeing those same lines, decides to take out those options, using his own Goat to get rid of Kristopher's Goat. This is it back. NightOwl at 2 to Kristopher's 11. We're going to see Kristopher gain a lot here. Going up to 15. Arthur will make 16, and whatever it bounces will make it 18. If only he had that goat. He does choose the Maleficent, going up to 18. Kristopher now having the hard decision to just play out the Maleficent to present game, or to leave his characters vulnerable. I believe he's opting to play the Maleficent. Maybe he may even cast the Madam and Fox to bounce the Arthur. That might be a viable option, giving him two readied characters, not able to be challenged, and only leaving the evasive character on board. That would mean that he would have to have something that could remove non-evasive characters. And Kristopher is taking his time thinking about his play decision. This is a tough choice. He decided not to play anything and passed it to NightOwl, leaving his Arthur vulnerable to a double attack here, but that is the game. Kristopher takes it away here in top 8 against NightOwl. The power of Maleficent and Arthur's. Wow, congratulations to Kristopher for taking top 8 here and being able to qualify into the top 4. Congratulations, Kristopher, on your win into the top 4, and NightOwl for qualifying and making the top 8. Congratulations to you too. Both of these competitors really showing the power of both of their variants of Amethyst Ruby and the different playstyles that you can have playing the same color types. That was such a fun game to watch, an amazing round. We want to congratulate these top 8 players here and Kristopher going into the top 4. Thank y'all for watching at home here on Twitch at the 20lore Twitch channel. If you missed any of the rounds, you can head on over to 20lore.pro/YouTube and watch the tournament later on in the week. Congratulations again to Kristopher, and we're going to see if we can't get the top 4 matches. I believe I remember them saying that they were going to split top 4. However, we're going to have a conversation with that and see if we can't get some people to play for the top 4. Thank you all again for watching. If you want to rewatch today's tournament, head on over to 20lore.pro/YouTube, and we will see y'all in just a little bit.